Daniel Cormier is a fan's favourite in the mixed martial arts world, and he is a favourite right here just with the way he handles himself in certain situations. We remember how he was pretty gracious in terms of how he accepted the fact that Jon Jones was unable to fight him. He threw a little hissy fit at the start. We remember him stamping his feet, wasn't happy, but then he was just really disappointed, not because he cared about what Jon Jones was doing, but for his own career. He wants to validate, I would say, himself in this industry by fighting Jon Jones again, and wants to do so still so very badly. And he came out talking to Cowherd basically about how, regardless of whether or not Jon Jones fails another test or whatever happens, he wants to fight him again. So let's take a look at this video of him on Cowherd.
My life and career would not be okay if I had to walk away and not share the octagon with that man again.
So you're willing, even if you thought maybe he was being elevated by a performance-enhancing drug?
I'd fight him.
Wow.
It's
His right cross is stronger. He's a little more mobile. He's a little quicker. He can endure more of your pain.
If that was the case before, then the guy that I'm going to fight the next time is not going to be the same guy I saw the first time because of USADA and the drug testing that we are under now. But you know what, Colin? Yes, I would fight him.
Wow.
It doesn't matter. I have to get the competitor in me and my belief and my coaches and my skill. I have to get that back. I can't live with it.
How do you hate this guy? How does any MMA fan in the history of MMA, because and the reason, by the way, so on my chart, I made a chart.
It's a chart.
New York Magazine, I think it's New York Magazine, LA Magazine, they do the approval matrix, right, for like things in pop culture. And on this chart, though, I have lowbrow and despicable. And after UFC 200, that's where MMA fans are, lowbrow and despicable. Because, and I know I'm criticizing a lot of, I can't generalize all MMA fans, but they booed Daniel Cormier and Anderson Silva. Yeah, because Daniel Cormier's style of fighting isn't nearly as exciting. It's not, technically speaking, as exciting as watching somebody like Silva in his prime.
Or Jon Jones.
Conor, Ronda, Jon Jones, well, Ronda not anymore, but Amanda Nunes, I should say. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Tyron Woodley, all the people now that are taking over the sport. But Daniel Cormier does what it takes to win, and you have to respect that about him as the light heavyweight champion. The fact that somebody will fight an uphill battle or would want to on an uneven playing field against somebody who is technically one of the most gifted MMA fighters in the history of the sport. How do you hate that competitive instinct? How do you hate that competitive spirit? But a lot of people would still boo him because he'll ground and pound. And maybe that's what it would take for him to get a win, but he'd ground and pound the whole way through.
It's already an uphill battle. Jon Jones is, when he is fighting pound for pound, one of the most ferocious fighters we've ever seen in the sport. His game is almost unmatched when he's able to be in there. So Cormier understands that risks, doesn't give two shits about it. Doesn't give two shits whether that risk of fighting a man who, on paper, many people feel is superior, is even heightened by taking performance-enhancing drugs. And it's not just, you mentioned there, the point. We were at the Woodley fight as well, and he was beginning to be getting booed as well because he was starting to take Wonderboy down and try to hold him on the ground using an ability he has to try and win the fight. And people are naive, and they don't see that as a strategy. They see it as someone just trying to lie on top of someone, but it is part of a strategy.
Here's what I find remarkable about not just the UFC, this happens in a lot of sports. And the example I'm going to use is Portugal in the Euros. They weren't deserving of the Euros win because they won defensively. That was their game plan, to come in for every single, as you've mentioned, every single game. And they drew a lot, and they almost had no wins, yet they won the Euros. You do what it takes to win, right? And it doesn't matter in the end if you're hoisting up a trophy or a belt, because in sports, if you're not cheating, the ends always justify the means. Yeah. If you didn't cheat to get there, if you didn't break any rules to get there, like Jon Jones technically has in instinct, then the ends will justify the means. So if you win, I don't know, this weekend in the conference championships, the Packers beat the Falcons 3-0 on one field goal, and it's the sloppiest, most disgusting game of NFC championship football ever played, the Packers are the deserving team to win because they won 3-0 and they go on to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
or the Falcons 3-0, doesn't matter. I'm just saying in this point, fans sometimes feel it needs to be exciting to define the win being worthy. And Cormier wants to fight a guy who, if he wins, would be overcoming an extreme disadvantage, and if Jon Jones were to win, everyone would still go, well, he cheated.
It's so reminiscent in every other sport. That was a great reference with Portugal. I spent 5 to 6 minutes, 7, 8 days, and 9 days. Well, I still have to defend it.
You're still angry about it, which you should be.
Which is the thing, is the difference is at face value, someone who's tuning in maybe doesn't know that much about Portugal, doesn't know what their strategy is, hasn't seen the effort that's went in.
Change the channel.
They're just defending their way to this is boring. Whereas they did it for almost 2.5 years. From qualification, ever since Sousa took over from qualification to winning, it was a game plan that he perfected with that team. The same way that Cormier has gotten to an elite level doing this. It doesn't mean that he's always done it. He is a great wrestler. He did it, and it is something that he has done through the majority of his career, and he knows it works. So if you don't appreciate that, then my only answer would be you're not educated on the overall sport. You're only educated on the things that you see at face value, like the good hooks, and the dances, and the fireworks that you come to watch. And that, I think, is naive. It's the same people who will get angry at a Floyd Mayweather fight. Then you're not a boxing fan. You're just a fan of the knockouts, and that's fine.
See what Floyd said?
What did he say?
He posted a picture of his net worth and McGregor's net worth, and he says you can't turn down $25 million if you're only worth $2.5. And Floyd's net worth is like whatever, it's like $650 million. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. I love it. It's fun. But in terms of Daniel Cormier, the other thing I wanted to mention about him is I'm not sure if people are catching on to this. He's a phenomenal broadcaster. He's been doing it for a while now. He does it on Fox Sports 1, and I think he's actually calling UFC 209 with Joe Anik and Joe Rogan because of the very strange way the UFC handled Mike Goldberg leaving.
He's a smart man because one of the reasons that he was upset about the fight not happening is he was honest. He is upset because in a career standpoint, he wants to right that wrong. But also, he needs to make money for his family, and he has to make money for his future. So, to me, that's an intelligent move because he is very well-spoken, and he does speak from the heart, and he's funny, and he's got that little bit extra charisma. So I think he's trying to set up a career after it. So that's always a smart move for me. Yeah, let him have it.
I root for Daniel Cormier.
Me too.
And anybody, I have never come across him yet, just yet. Hopefully one day I will. People I know pretty well have talked with him in depth, and they said he's just a classy individual, inside and outside the octagon. So we root for Daniel Cormier. He's getting old though, man. He's approaching
that's why I
40
think he's pushing for it. That's why I think this comes with it. It's like it's not that he on a perfect day would take Jon Jones all roided up. I think he's like, you know what? Just give me him whatever way he's going to come.
But just imagine he shows up like Resident Evil Nemesis with like a fucking eye on his arm and just
like
straight
Tom
up.
Hardy in The Warrior just traps this size. I think I'll take that. See what I just said? I'll take it back. I'll take a step back. All right, either way, let us know what you think. Daniel Cormier willing to fight Jon Jones, whatever means possible. Do you want to see it happen? Hit us in the comment section below. Hit us up on Instagram. You'll see plenty of selfies and plenty of belly selfies. No!